Hey everybody, this is Brian Davidson. I'm still safe at home. I hope you're safe at home. I hope that you're making good choices. And that's kind of what this next short passage is about. We're still in chapter 5. We're still in the Sermon on the Mount, and we just went through the part that people call the Beatitudes. It is it's it's where Jesus does a good job of lifting up the everyman, your everyday believer. Um he lifts them up, and that's one of the things that makes this next part very very interesting. He just lifted up people saying, "Blessed are the merciful; they will shall receive mercy. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth." That's not in order, but you kind of get the idea. The everyday people who are going through everyday things and just want things to be good, Christ is lifting them up, because when you're an everyday person, it's easy to feel powerless. Well, he continues with this. He continues this uplifting very strongly in this next section, chapter 5, verses 3 through 16. And he's using the metaphor of salt and light. So let's listen to this. Now this is your everyday believer. Now, if you're an everyday Christian, you you're you are lifted up. You have the status of a royal priest. Now, there are traditions that try to separate priesthood and your everyday Christian, and I think that we need to work to get back to a point where we are actually really lifting each other up. But let's take a look at this salt and light. You are the salt of the earth. But if a salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown and trampled underfoot. Okay, so uh, saltiness. We want to be useful. We want to be doing good, so we're still recognized for our goodness. And salt is used to preserve things. Salt is used to to in a time when they didn't have the best refrigeration. Salt was what was keeping a lot of things fresh. Okay, so we need to be that saltiness that is keeping things preserved and new and good. That's one of the things that your everyday believer right now is being encouraged by Jesus Christ to do. Continuing in verse 14, you are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. So we're going to be seen. We're supposed to stand out for the good that we are doing. That's what Christians are supposed to be standing out for. Okay. Um, Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. Verse 16, it closes by saying, "In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see the good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." So, so Christians are supposed to be standing out for at least trying to do what's good. And it seems like there's and I do see a lot of that. I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful for the believers who really are literally putting themselves out there to make good happen. That's absolutely fantastic. But I worry for those who go out there and really what's out there is the question, how do I get power? How do I grab power? How do I maintain power? How do I fight for the power on my side? Which, because it's my side, it obviously must be God's side. There's a lot of that swirling around in the church. Some of it comes from some of it leaks into an institutional mentality. Um, some of it comes from a variety of power plays that happen within congregations that the pastors don't actually get an opportunity to shepherd, which should mean there should be more pastors or more leadership like involved in the congregation, but you get these people who are like in their congregation and they're bullies, but the pastors don't get around to them because the church leadership is busy and it doesn't have enough leadership. Um, so, long story short, when we follow Christ, we are the salt of the earth. When we follow Christ, we are the city on a hill that does stand out in a positive way to the people around the city. Okay? Um, we're supposed to be we're supposed to be a light to each other, and when people see the work that God is doing in us, that's supposed to be a testimony to them. But we have to ask, is that light seen? Is that salt keeping things fresh? Or is it lose or is our salt losing its saltiness and only good for being thrown on the ground? Is our light being put underneath a bowl of of any number of things? You know, um, Politics, culture. Is the bowl being put on top of that? It's something to ask, and it's very important to ask. Are some of our brothers and sisters who are different from us being shut out for the wrong reasons? Now, if you know somebody who goes to church and they're not safe, stay away from them. I will put that out there right away. You know, it's, I mean, there, I mean, in general, it's not just in church, but in general, stay away from toxic people. If if there's this toxicity, then I don't think God wants us to go near that. I think God wants us to be safe. But where there is light, where there are people being real, trying to do good, serving the community, helping those in need, helping the widows, orphans, and immigrants. When you see those people, that's this those people who are legitimately trying to help the community in ways that are selfless. You know, Look at that light. Look towards that light. And that's not to say that anyone's perfect. It's not to say that, you know, that we're not all flawed people. We are all flawed people. But I think that God does have a different standard for us who know him. a standard that puts us in a place where we're supposed to stand out, that puts us in a place where we're supposed to be keeping things fresh. You know, so look to God and ask him about it. It's like, how can I be that salt? How can I be that light? You know, ask him to give you the strength to be those things. You know, and I mean, before talking about the salt and the light, he said, "Blessed are you when you are persecuted for the sake of when we're persecuted for the sake of God." And when we're persecuted for following God, that's, you know, God sees that, and He allows us a certain dignity that that helps us push through. So understand that the light that God gives us is a good thing, and that you have that um, that we have every reason to be cautious with this dignity, but every reason to be bold about putting God first. Okay, you guys take care. If you're looking for a Bible in America, I have some links down below. If you are looking for a Bible anywhere in the world, you're seeing this digitally, and you could go to BibleGateway.com, and that has Bibles in many different versions of the Bibles in many different languages. So please check out BibleGateway.com. It's very helpful. I'm Brian Lee Davidson Tarka, and I'm saying goodbye. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.